So, yeah, I'm just taking a woodland walk, and there is this tree here. I think it's a beech tree. I'd have to double check. And basically, I don't know if you can see it. It's in here in the forest on its own, and it's kind of leaning to one side, like that. And it's got an owl box on it up there, look. It's kind of weird that the owl box is open. It wasn't open the last time I was here, which is a bit concerning. But yeah, it's a beech tree, I think. And it's basically called the Will You Marry Me tree. Here it is. And you can click on that QR code and it takes you to the kind of like a PDF of a kind of tale, kind of story about what it relates to, and it's a bit of a not the happiest of stories in some ways, but it's a good story anyway. And so I'll put the link in the description for anybody to click on if they want. And I guess I was just reflecting on this tree, because it is a nice tree in the middle of this coppice woodland, and the rest of the woodland is more like a coppice. And then they chop these trees down and then they grow back up again, and this beech is kind of on its own there. But I guess it got me to thinking about, I guess everybody's different and stuff like that, but I guess it's thinking about what are generic things that people might want in a partner, and I guess there's this aspect of, I guess the tree itself is indicative of it being that, idea of growth, and so it might be that you might want to find somebody that has a bit of a growth mindset, or somebody that's got some goals that they're working on and wants to progress things for themselves, maybe in a certain direction, and they're ready to learn new things and they're open to learning new things maybe. And I guess it's maybe reflecting for yourself in some ways. It's purely up to you in some ways, as as your own choice, what you find important. And what you could do is you could use the branches of a tree, so you could draw a little tree and you could put little kind of labels on different parts of those branches and write down important things that you would find important to you in a partner. But I guess I'm just thinking, everybody's different, and it's up to them what they do and who they like. I guess I would be thinking about, in a relationship, people being supported to do what they want to do, and both people being supported in their choices and what they would like to do. And also, what else? Ability to come to a compromise, because there's always going to be a conflict at some point probably, and it's thinking about that compromise aspect. Are they able to move from their position slightly, or at least understand the other person well and listen to them? Can they listen to people? And yeah, I guess there's maybe also like shared values, being faithful, these other aspects of kind of what do they think's important in life, and does that match in some ways to what you find's important? I would say, things like simply, do you like to generally tidy up after yourself, for example? I find is an important thing, but some people wouldn't find that important. But it's that kind of thing of like, are they a team player? Would they do a fair amount of the housework, or would they be sharing tasks equally, or if needed, you know, it might be at times that one person needs to do a bit more than the other person does a bit more at a different time, you know. And so it's that kind of helping each other to progress, helping each other to move forward with things. Yeah. And what else? I guess it's that thing of somebody being considerate and thinking about the other person, keeping them in mind. It might also be, you know, this aspect of, you know, having potentially similar interests, or they could have their own interests as well, I guess. But I guess at least having something that's like possibly a shared interest, that might be nice, but not necessarily needed, I guess. What else? I guess there's that aspect of noticing, you know, how they treat animals might be a good starting point as well. So it's kind of like, how do they interact and treat animals? How do they interact with and treat animals, you know? What else? Yeah. Do they have the ability to, you know, in some ways, understand when they're in the wrong, you know, sometimes, and that they've not done something right, and are they able to kind of understand that, you know, and try and not repeat that as such, you know. I guess there's all sorts, and really it is people's personal choices and what they find important, to be honest. Some people, you know, might find, you know, all sorts are more important than the other thing, you know. Sometimes people find, like, I don't know, different philosophies and ideas or kind of lifestyle choices more attractive, and it is everything on a personal choice front on these things, you know. And it's kind of thinking about that and really just drawing it out for yourself and thinking, well, what does it look like for me, you know, what do I find important and why? I think that's the key thing, and why. Yeah, there is this aspect where whatever you personally find important needs to go on your own kind of map of what qualities or things you would like in that person. Yeah, and I guess I'm talking more about long-term partners here and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, have a good one, and maybe have a go at it for yourself, and have a look at the what do they call it, Folktale, in the description. And good luck, and hope you find it helpful exercise to think about.